Now we're live. This is the couch. I'm DJ Gonzo. We got Nasty Ink on tonight. It should be it should be fairly interesting. I'm sure our conversations will be. We're gonna go live on Gonzo Sal's Facebook page. See if anybody wants to check us out there.
You messaged me while I was on video call. Where's you going live? When's it hitting? Now.
Well, see, this is always a sign, and I say this: Gringo Suave is not on tonight to be talking during the intro and the beginning of the recording, but it's always a good sign when it happens. It's usually a good sign. Fucking. So we're live. We're doing Facebook. This is kind of not a first, but something we don't really do. Hope you enjoy it. One person's watching. Thanks for paying attention. I have never done it on a laptop. I was telling Nasty this. I've never done it on this. It's kind of different. Now I'm kind of staring at myself. Places it kind of fucks with the ADD just a little bit. Okay, I got you. All right.
There's fucking phenomenal.
Is it? My girl, the Living Dead girl, she's our one viewer. She said I need to get my sound a little bit tighter so that you hear a little bit better. All right. So, Nasty Ink, you've been on before, but with some video. Now we get to see the face behind the madness. And if you follow this guy on Facebook, he's a nut.
I'm a nut.
I think your personality directly, like, you just look at you and you're like, yeah, this motherfucker here is cool as fuck.
Yeah. I'm a white trash, punk rock, fucking hip hop fed, corn fed. I almost said inbred, motherfucker.
Hey, nothing done ancestry yet.
Yep, that's how it's gonna be a good night. Nastie's already talking about being inbred.
Right? Oh man, I don't know. It's really, with this show, there's not a low ceiling. I let someone else take over the show a couple weeks back, and it ended up being a shirtless show with four fat dudes talking. I'm really
what we doing? Play fucking strip poker?
No, I just like we didn't wear shirts. So he was like, "My dude's got to fly." So it was one of those. Have you noticed the gay player amongst like Southern California? It's heavy gay play. Have you noticed that out there? Very, very heavy. It was heavy along those lines because even though three of them were in Texas, I'm in Arizona. We all were pretty much born in California, so it just went downhill. I am both ashamed. I am both ashamed and proud of it.
That's how you know shit's gonna hit the fan. Dude, I did an interview one time with a dude out here. Actually, it was a buddy of mine's podcast. Brett, the magician. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know.
We did his podcast, and it ended up being one giant dick joke. Literally, dick joke after dick joke after dick joke for like 6 hours straight, bro.
I used to think that I ran a kind of a loose show and shit, coming off Underground Wicked Radio. It was kind of more of a straight interviews. But then the person who changed the way I do it now, although I had to rein myself back in, was Drew Smith, Nairo the Madman.
Oh, I love that motherfucker.
Because I fucking love, dude, long history of Drew. I love Drew. I give him shit a lot, though, too. But he gave me 2 of his first 3 interviews. But he said, if you bring me on, I don't want to fucking have a regular interview. You better make this shit fucking worth it. I don't do these, but I'll do these for you guys. Because Living Dead Girl's been a fan since damn near day one for him.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
He is a good dude. It was the most dirty show. We played a game called Would You Rather, which I gave him a bunch of different assorted nasty things I have to do, and he rolled with every one of them. We called a gay strip club in Phoenix. I was like, hello. I was scared the other day. And there's this little penis dude named Nairo the Madman. They're like, who? Like, he's got a little penis. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I thought that was a low point,
Not
but
that on, please.
that dude made me. That dude made me ease up a little bit on some of it. We get out there sometime. It's the way it is, It's the fucking couch. We hang out.
Yeah,
Notice
right.
by the way, this guy is a artist. He does that rapping thing, you know.
If that's what you want to fucking call it, I just call it mumble jumble on a fucking couple 808s and the snare drum.
Right? Sometimes I notice that it almost seems like you got a love hate for it.
I do.
So
Well,
it
I wouldn't
becomes
say
more.
okay. I wouldn't say I have a lot of hate for rapping. I have a lot of hate for the industry and what it's become.
Right.
That's just, and I let it be known. I mean, like anybody that knows me knows that I speak my mind. I tell you exactly how the fuck it is, when it is. I don't give a fuck how big you are, small you are.
Right.
It don't matter to me. That's just how I am. That's who I am. That's what my music is.
It's
My
the
art's
old
even worse.
It's the old. Hey, you've come a ways with it though.
Yeah, I mean, there's only in the underground before I started doing the illustration shit. There was only 4 or 5 people that were doing it that were actually, and I just picked it up out of fucking nowhere. Just
Right.
right fuck in the middle of it. Like, hey, here, I'm here.
So that shit works though. It looks good. Coronavirus hitting shit, but I always fucking wanted to get some from you. But yeah. Hey, but you're talking about with the, yeah, I'm trying. I got a couple things up my works. I got my stickers. Let's get nasty stickers. Those are fucking.
They turn out all right.
Yeah, dude, they did. And then the that Lucky Charm shirt, bro. That's a killer
turn out
shirt.
all right. Yeah. That's the thing. A
And
lot of people don't realize I draw all my merch myself, whole 9 yards. And
yeah.
now that I'm with UMR and shit, I do all of our merch, everything.
Okay.
So all of our graphics. Eric does all of our engineering. Decal does all the production. Like it's literally like I moved out here, threw myself in the middle of a fucking movement that I don't belong in, and just like, hey guys, let's go.
Right. But there's a certain mentality and way where kind of some people are bred that it translates. You know what I mean? Coming from Indiana to coming to California and stuff, and with the people that you're working with and stuff, there's definitely a certain.
What was that? That
Definitely.
last one? I'm sorry. There was a fucking motorcycle rumming.
I'll probably have 2 go by my house. No, I was just saying that that it translates over to the type of mentality and shit. It's an old school mentality.
It does. I do have to say the scene out here sucks. The transition from doing what I was doing back home to doing what I'm doing here is horrible. But I'm making it work.
Yeah, because if you didn't know, Indiana actually has a little pop in. What's that one place out there I always see in flyers? Carl's Tavern or something?
Carl's Tavern. The owners of those are family to me. We usually do Nastie Bash there. We've done it there the past 4 years. Like me and my wife used to run a venue out in Indianapolis called the Citadel, which was the Emerson Theater, which is like a notorious venue at one point. And then the owners decided they were going to change venues to a bigger venue, and it didn't work out. But thankfully, it didn't work out. But it didn't work out after we left.
Right. Because I would always see that in flyers and stuff, like with you guys from Force 5, Fams and the Hooligan.
Yeah. We have a like back home in the Midwest, we have a fucking very strong movement when it comes to underground. And everybody, like, I wouldn't say it's everybody, at the same show, at every show, it's the same people at every fucking show, but every fucking weekend you're packing out a venue. Out here, I've noticed 3 shows that I've done out here, you're lucky to pack 25 people out with a big name.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
so it's like starting from scratch.
It is, and especially like if you're doing shows down the Inland Empire, because they've always had issues with fucking problems at all the shows, the venues and stuff for the longest times. Like if they wild out, you know, because I grew up in San Bernardino, and I
Oh
remember
yeah.
the Gotham, Carlos O'Brien's and stuff. Everyone would empty out. I was a waiter at Denny's late at night. Uh, Insanity, right? That old club in Rubidoux that Saint and Austin went to Club Metro.
Yeah,
Like they found people kept getting smoked out there.
no shit.
Yeah, a little old
Yeah,
town nowhere, like slammed in between the butt crack of Riverside and San Bernardino counties. That's all that is stuck.
Don't get it twisted. I miss the woods. I miss the cornfields. I miss the rivers. I miss being able to fucking go mudding and drink beer, you know, anywhere. But I fucking love it out here.
Yeah,
I wouldn't trade fucking peace and quiet for the goddamn world.
Right? It's beautiful out there. I loved it, but it just wasn't right for me because I was in a bad spot with a high consumption rate.
Yeah.
In spots I should not be. And people were starting to question, like, why is this happening? You know what I mean? So, like,
right.
I met the living dead girl, paid off my debts, got about a month half sober, never turned back, went to North Carolina.
North Carolina.
That blew my mind, bro. Like, it was so much different. And like, my family's from Missouri. I was born in Bakersfield originally. I guess I can only be born in one place. So I guess, yeah, that is originally. But so I got some of that country, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Dad took us to woods and stuff instead of Disneyland. I think it's mostly because it was cheaper, but he liked to show us stuff, you know? Right. I loved it.
I mean, you learn your best life lessons in the woods. That's what I tell my kids.
Right.
No, like, yeah, we could take you to Disneyland. You can go do all this, but that's a material object. That's a memory. But you killing your first fucking deer, skinning it, eating it. That is gonna stay with you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the hunting out there sucks, but there's still a lot of beautiful places. Big Bear and everything up there in your area.
I mean, we have some game out there. We have but it's not what everybody thinks it is. Like, we get deer, we get turkey season. That's about it. For me, like, growing up wise, I was in Texas growing up when I started hunting and shit, and it was fucking boar. My grandpa would take me out with a little 6-shooter and a fucking little rifle, and he'd be like, "Oh, we're gonna go hunt boar. 3 times your size. You're 7 years old. You shoot it, you better kill it."
Hey, so are those boars out there in Texas like the javelinas in Arizona?
Yeah, pretty much. They're the same size.
Fuck them javelinas. Fuck those javelinas, man.
We used to. I lived in right outside of Hamilton, Ohio, for about 5 years. I'd say it was more like 7 years. My mom and my youngest brother's dad and his parents, and they had a fucking wild boar that they had caught and put in the pen, and that motherfucker would get out, and we would have to fucking wrestle it down and fucking. It's like the greatest thing in the world watching, being fucking 12, 13 years old, watching a bunch of 35, 36-year-olds trying to wrestle down a boar to get it back in its fucking pen because the motherfucker's out in the middle of fucking nowhere in
Ohio. Fuck. I luckily have been tangled with one. We've kind of like had, because I lived in Prescott, Arizona, and while the javelinas were everywhere. So I'd go to work around like 11 o'clock at night and be walking down the street. I had to split the middle of the street while there's whole families of them on each side with just a bat fucking knife. Like, fuck, I don't want to do this. I walked down some fucked up neighborhoods back home. I don't want to walk down here with these fucking javelinas. Fuck this shit.
No, but hey, that's some good bacon.
Are they?
Some really good bacon.
I think you definitely might be a redneck to like that. That just does not sound like it would be good. I know they fatten up on our trash and shit, but they just look gamey.
They do, but I mean, I've ate raccoon, I've ate squirrel. Like it, get gamey meat is amazing, but that's just
Yeah.
also like how I was, I guess, how
Yeah, no,
it is
it's
out there.
either in the genes or it's in the taste.
Do what?
I said it's either in the genes or
Yeah,
it's because of the taste you had growing up. You know what I mean?
right,
Some people like different things.
right, exactly. Or you just get bored and you want to try something new.
Right. No, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, that looks good. You know, fucking kill it. Get some barbecue sauce or some sriracha.
It was funny as hell. We went to go pick up my oldest son last Friday in Vegas. He moved in with us out here in Cali from Indianapolis. And as soon as he got off the plane, the first thing I said to him, I had a fucking beer in my hand, looked at him. I was like, so, when we get home, just so you know, you eat what you kill. If you don't kill it, you don't eat it. He looked at me, he was like, shut the fuck up, Dad. This is what motherfuckers start. He literally looked at me, he's like, shut the fuck up, bro.
Oh fuck! Hey, I told you the show just goes off. So is this backtrack to this music stuff for you? So how'd you get talked to coming out here? How did Sinister talk to you in coming out?
It wasn't Sinister that talked me into coming out
No.
here. No, we had a family emergency last year, and my
Okay.
wife's mom's caretaker passed away, which kind of put us in the we had to.
Yeah.
Like we don't want to put her in a nursing home, so we came out here, and we both take care of her and work full time, and we moved out here for her.
So.
It wasn't a like, yo, let's just pack our shit up and move out to Cali for music situation.
Right.
It was more of a time to grow the fuck up and take care of our family because she took care of you for your whole entire fucking life.
Absolutely. No, that's the only thing you can do. You know what I mean?
Right. I
I mean,
like I said earlier, I wouldn't trade it for the world. Like I'm used to being surrounded by woods, but I don't fuck with anybody out here, so it's pretty much the same goddamn thing.
right. Absolutely. That's kind of the way I am out here in Kingman. I just kind of do my thing. That's it. I work at a place that don't really have locals, so it works out perfect for me.
Yeah.
It's the naked fucking desert, but
Nothing but fucking dirt.
and
I
dirt,
love it though.
right?
I've been trying to talk her into letting me build a fucking go-kart with some fucking sand tires on it and taking it out in the middle of nowhere and trying to kill myself unintentionally.
It fucking happens. It
Right.
fucking happens. See, in Arizona, you could get put plates on it and drive it down the street.
Shit, you could fucking do that with an ATV here.
Can you now?
And where we're in Lancaster.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see them do it all the time. Dirt bikes, ATVs, whole fucking 9 yards.
Right? They be driving by in side by sides out here in Arizona on the freeway. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Not like I wouldn't drive it from my house to Sin's house, but I mean, it
Right.
ain't gonna stop me from like, hey guys, I'm gonna go build this like go kart out of a fucking riding lawnmower motor, and we're gonna go film a video of the desert, a big hoss driving this motherfucker. Pray don't fucking wreck it.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, limited smoking.
No, I love that motherfucker so much, man.
He's good people. Since I lost my phone and shit, I haven't messaged or called him. I used to try and talk to him like once a week.
That's about how I am. I shoot him a text every now and then just to see how he's doing. Because I mean, I see him at Eric's, but like with fucking the Rona and all that, I ain't got to see him much. I think I've seen him once since. But
Yeah.
we pretty much try to only go over there like once a month now with all this shit going on.
Right. His mom used to save my.
Okay. Do what?
His mom used to save my ass. She was my district manager and shit at Denny's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's how I got to know him and stuff. Like she saved my ass all the time, but her and my mom were friends and shit. Can you believe? Can you believe this? Back in like what is it like 97, 96? My mom tells me about her friend who has these kids that are rapping and stuff, corn phase and stuff. I'm like, white boys rapping, fucking Vanilla Ice shit. Fuck no, because I'm 42. Like fuck that and shit. Like 3 years later, I was like, holy fuck, wait, what is it? And like, you're fucking dumb. This is who we're talking about fucking
That's
years
that
ago. I
one
was like,
dude from that one band with that one video and that one song.
I'm like, fuck. Yeah, it's crazy how life goes.
Yeah, it's funny how everything just like pieces itself together. You know what I mean? Like, like I've said it a million times. Like I love Indiana, I love the Midwest, but I'm really starting to grow accustomed to it out here. So,
Yeah,
like, Cali's my fucking home now, whether I like it or not. Might as well get fucking used to it, make the best of it.
right. It's fucking crazy there. Huge amount of people and shit. Like, I wouldn't go back. I like my cheap rent and shit here.
Yeah, well, okay, so the only thing that really gets me out here is the amount of homeless people we get.
Oh, bro.
I have never seen this many homeless people in my entire fucking life.
There's so many, bro.
They're
Like
everywhere.
I've ran in and through them and stuff. Like the guys that lived in the tunnels in North End San Bernardino and shit. I do business going through there and shit. And sometimes they stop and pay me. And I interior design their whole tunnels and shit with graffiti and shit for them. But they would have whole houses in there inside of these tunnels. Bed, dresser, and shit. But they'd be raised up for when the water comes through. It's weird how people can adapt and shit like that. And drugs.
Yeah, I mean it's a different change. It took me a while to get used to it, but I'm here for the long haul.
Right. But
It's
like you said, being where you're at and, not really, being out and about and shit is wonderful. Like
I mean
California.
like we leave, but we don't try to associate with people. So
Right.
like I barely even know my fucking neighbors. They bring me food.
Right. You were social distancing before all this shit happened.
Ain't nothing really changed for me.
Right.
We
Well,
travel a lot. Like we travel back and forth to the Midwest a lot. Like
your
once
last
every other
travel
fucking.
was your last travel was an adventure and a half, though.
Yeah, our last travel cost us about $4,000 and over $4,000 and a little over a month of our time, and it was only supposed to be for a week.
That shit happens sometimes, though. So we were talking earlier, and like I've said on my show before, I'm always straight up with it. A lot of times, I haven't even really heard somebody's music and shit,
Yeah.
but I sit back and I watch because it's the old hustler in me. I sit back and I watch their actions, their posts, and everything. Because I'm the type of person, and maybe it's my age, but when I get into someone's music, I really get into their music. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's unfortunate, like life choices and dumb shit they make.
Lizzie.
Like seeing them like seeing through the veil on them and shit. You know what I mean? Is it because you spend all this time into the music related and shit? So for me, I don't really get into a lot of stuff until like sooner to it. And I told you today, and I can't even pronounce the fucking album. That's the problem with like Facebook. Like it shit to you. It should tell you what the fuck. Otosa?
The Potosi.
Okay, because I'm like Batosai and shit. Like,
Yeah, it's about right. It's yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It's actually a deviation off one of my favorite animes, and
Okay.
I went a whole completely different fucking route with it than people thought I was going to. It's, I mean, I've been working on that motherfucker for 4 years.
Right.
You know, like, and we scrapped it over and over. Like, we'd have the album done, we'd sit on it for like 3 or 4 months without releasing a release date, and then we'd just be like, fuck it, nah, this ain't good enough.
well, like you were telling me earlier, like you kind of made a record that you wanted to hear.
Yeah, 100%.
So I could see why it would take 4 years and scrapping it over and over again to get that.
It's that record is my fucking baby. That's my first legit professionally done underground record. Like, yeah, I've dropped 4 albums prior, so I've been around for a minute, but those 4 albums were horribly mixed and mastered. They sounded like fucking shit. They were completely structured all over the fucking place. You know, like, I quit my job at Steak and Shake on Christmas of 2018, looked at my wife and I said, baby, this is what I want to do for a fucking living. I'm going to do a full album and I'm going to do it properly.
Right.
And it literally, like, I was working on the project beforehand, you know, but it pushed me to excel and study and learn and work on patterns and look at the mathematics of hip hop. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because I'm an OG hip hop fanatic. Like, it's all mathematics to me. Everything is mathematics to me. So this is my fucking baby. And the fact that we completely scrapped it before we moved out here, we had nothing to work with. I came out here and Decal, we kept 3 songs from the original cut.
Yeah.
Decal produced the rest of the fucking album.
Okay. I'm curious. I wonder what 3 made the cut.
Rally the Troops 2, aka Prince of Darkness, Bleed, and the Batosai.
Okay. That makes sense. I was kind of canceling out the Suicide Letter with the 1 and 2 and Hard Liquor. I didn't think it was any of those.
No, yeah, he actually Decal produced like 95% of that fucking album, and
That's badass.
Literally my fucking baby. Like, we put
Good
so
album.
much fucking work, and it's got a lot of love. But, you know, like, I've got idols, people that I've looked up to, and I just started doing this shit, like I said, professionally 2 years ago. So, like, people that I've looked up to, like, in 30 years old, graduated in 2010, started listening to underground hip hop in 2006, and people that I grew up listening to when I got into underground hip hop, like 7 Seal Entertainment, you know, Low Key, Mad Max, Wicked One, all them cats, they hit me up and like, oh my God, like, this is dope.
Right?
So the fact that and then Damian Quinn, like, that's my brother. He married me and my wife pretty much. He listened to it and said the same fucking thing. Like, it feels good to drop my first album that's actually, what's the word I'm looking for? A legit project, and that we've actually forked out the money into and the time into and the patience with and treated it like it was my child. That motherfuckers are actually showing it love instead of like giving it one run through and picking a couple songs off of it. It's awesome. It's a good feeling, you know what I mean?
Right, no, absolutely. I think it's kind of like cooking food. It's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the thing unless you put that love in it. You got to put the love in it. And this is not a dick joke this time, guys. It's not.
Nope. You got to sprinkle a little bit of beer on it and let that shit soak.
I actually had 2 beers the other day, and I think maybe I've had 1 more all this year. I just don't drink no more, really. I know, it's crazy, huh?
Yeah, see, I go through. I don't drink hard liquor anymore. Well, hardly ever do I drink hard. I can't say that because I still drink hard liquor, but it's a very seldom thing that I drink because I was a really bad alcoholic. I stick to beer. nowadays for the most part. Every once in a while, I have a shot. I got a couple bottles that I, sit on that special occasions I whip out. But I go through about a 30 brick every 2 days. I drink beer like it's water. I wake up, first thing I do.
I think it's kind of a Midwest thing too.
I wouldn't say Midwest thing. Cultural wise, Midwest is almost the same. I wouldn't say cultural wise because, well, yeah, cultural wise. The only difference is we don't have a lot of Hispanics, a lot of Indians. It's more of a white trash propaganda clusterfuck.
Yeah.
That's the Midwest in a nutshell.
Okay.
I
get it. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't trade the motherfuckers for the world. I love them. But at the same time, I don't like them. I love them, but I hate them. I hate to love them. Yeah.
Yeah. I got you, bro.
Too many conservatives out there. Say that.
Right. You gotta have a good mix, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's you have to love everybody for who they are.
Right.
And a lot of people back home don't take that into consideration whatsoever. Doesn't matter what color they are, they just don't.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I get you. Like I said, going to North Carolina was a complete. It threw me for a loop because I was in Shelby, North Carolina, and like at night there was one part of town I couldn't go to at night, and they're literally like 40 miles outside of town was a town where if we went through or anybody of color went through, they got harassed and stuff by people, and this is legit. I'll fight them, I don't care. They all look the same.
Yeah, 100%.
I was just like, "This, what the fuck? This is crazy." I was like, I'd never experienced anything like that. And I mean, come on, San Bernardino is like it's a big mix of everybody and shit, But going out there, it was like things were more. It was just weird, bro. It was a weird vibe. And then I lived in
stuck. It's like you go out there. Well, the thing about the Midwest is you go out to the Midwest, certain parts of the Midwest, like Indianapolis, Cincinnati, like the southern parts of the Midwest.
Yeah.
You get a lot of the hate. A
Yeah.
lot of the people stuck in the old ways. A lot of people scared of change. A lot of people that are culturally, mentally, excuse the word, retarded.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's almost an identity for them. Like that they're trying to hold on to it. You know what I mean? They're like this was supposed to be, and they're trying. That's what they got.
In Indianapolis flying rebel flags. Okay, but Indiana wasn't even part of that. Plus the Dixie, the Dixie flag was a battle flag for. It wasn't even like. It's so fucked up. Like motherfuckers just don't understand history, but they want to bitch about history.
Right.
And I don't, that's what I am. I'm a history buff. I've always had a thing for it. I've tried, expressing that and, my emotions with hip hop and like things like that. Like not in the Joyner Lucas and Tom McDonald sense, but like seeing, not expressing, that's the wrong word, but like I've tried looking at it from both angles and it ain't for me. I love everybody the same. Fuck everybody and all their bullshit if they don't. It ain't, fuck all that nonsense.
Right.
It's one thing, one color, one race, human motherfucking race, and we have to stand together and stand united.
Absolutely, I can totally agree with that, bro. I can totally agree with it. History wise, now, I feel like I'm a bit of a history buff Like sometimes I know dates and stuff, but what's your favorite part of history? Like what era would you go to with history, and what kind of
If I
history
were
would
to
it be?
go anywhere with anything, my favorite era to study is Greek mythology and Norse mythology.
Okay, okay, no, absolutely.
Oh
I
shit!
know. Oh
There we go. Did I lose you? Nope. I'm back.
no, there you go. Okay, yeah. Like I don't know. It seemed like school was different. Like I said, I went to elementary school in the '80s, and like they focused a lot on different histories and stuff. But I was one of those kids where if you gave me the history book, I'm already done reading it like the first month. I like to absorb the knowledge and everything. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Then I
That's
did,
my.
and then I did drugs. But, but Greek mythology, I really dug that shit. But then I kind of screwed myself, and I'm sorry to say, I don't know where I picked up this habit, but I started reading these like fucking young readers, this fucking Percy Jackson fucking stuff.
Yeah, hey, those are
So,
good
because
books.
dude, it took all the Greek mythology and shit, and how they
Yep.
worked it and changed it and shit. I fucking dug it, bro. Like, I got one of the Trials of Apollo I found at Walmart. I just bought and shit. For my daughter. No, dude, I was reading those damn things. They're good.
Yep. They're really good fucking reads. Uh, I've been here lately. Like I fluctuated away from a lot of the Greek and North. Like that's my favorite era. But I've been like studying a lot of like the Meiji era Japan, like feudal Japan, and stuff like that. I've been I literally like sit on my fucking phone and just study. I read. I like it's just, that's
I'm
me.
always on like Google News and shit. She got me a Kindle, but I never ended up using it. I just with the
Yeah.
baby and stuff. I just ain't got the time to read like I do. Like I read on the shitter. You know what I mean? That's about it. Or
Best time to read. That's the best time to write music too.
yeah, it's on the
When
shitter.
you're high as fuck on the shitter, you forget you're shitting.
A releasing, I guess, both ways. So always like the 12th century because I read a lot of Louis L'Amour's. Like pretty much
Yep.
everyone I probably read, except for like the ones they did way after he died and shit. But he did a book called The Walking Drum. And it was like the 12th century, and it followed this dude Kerbichard as he went through like from up on Brittany in northern France and all the way down to Spain, and then through Constantinople and shit, and then back up through the trade routes and all this shit. Like so much fucking information, dude. I got off on that shit. I always liked it, and to see where cultures were different. Like Paris was a shithole, but you could go to Cadiz
Yep.
or Cordoba, and they were beautiful. They had running water. Motherfuckers were washing their hands.
Yep.
They were washing their hands. People out there, you should wash your hands.
I mean, still to this day, people will say Paris is a shithole.
Like they had nuns. They had nuns that bragged about never taking a bath except to wash their fingers so they didn't dirty the Bible.
No.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Hey, and Louis L'Amour said so, and that motherfucker never lied. No.
Wow. Yeah. See, I like that's my thing though. Like I grew up in a very, 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 very Southern Baptist household.
Yeah.
Very Southern, and I'm completely not religious at all. And my grandparents hate it. They fucking despise it. They run a church. Well, I'd say own a church because they actually paid for the land back home in Indiana. They bought a whole like I think it was like 120 something acres and built a fucking church on this motherfucker. And they're like, "Oh, when are you gonna come to church? When are you gonna do this?" I'm like, "Grant, like y'all forced me in this shit when I was a kid, and I kind of found my own fucking way." Like,
Right. And it's weird raising kids too because the Living Dead girl, she's way more than I am. I'm not even sure what to. I think they're Baptist. I think she's Baptist too. But it's hard because like for me, it wasn't pushed on me. I had a ex-Jehovah Witness mom and an atheist dad. You know what I mean?
It was fucking pushed on me. You can't swim in a pool with a female. You can't do this. Like boys and girls swim separately. Boys and girls eat at separate tables. Like it was so fucked. But I mean, I respect it. I respect it because my grandparents are probably the greatest thing besides my children and my wife that's like ever happened to me, or that was ever given to me. But I feel like at some points they're way too pushy on things, on aspects of shit. So, I mean, like we all get along. They don't disown me or anything. They just don't like the fact that I don't believe in their God.
Right. Right. And I get it, but here's the thing: is I think the more people read, are knowledgeable on history and other things, and look at other spiritualities, religions, they tend to not have one religion because there's too many unanswered questions, too much.
And they're all the same, in a sense. Like it's all the same.
Yeah.
Like Mormon, we fucking Mormons, they fucking hate me because I'll sit down and I'll talk to them. I'll hold a conversation like me and you were holding. And then they'll be like, oh, like, have you ever read this book? Dude, I've read the Bible. The Bible's the greatest horror story ever wrote. I can recite lines for you, motherfucker. What do you want? I tend to scare them away.
They usually find me funny because in my addiction, I'd go to Redlands and I'd pick up a bunch of pain pills back before they're super popular. And you take a bunch of them, and I always walked right into the Mormons or the witnesses. It always seems to happen and stuff, and it'd be hit me, boom. I'm just like, I'm not one of those people. I'm holy shit, let's go do something. Like the opiates get me up, so I was running, and I run into them and shit. And I'll be hitting them up. I ask the witnesses and Mormons, like, so when you see each other, you have like your own neighborhoods and stuff. You got your own sect. You'd be like, Mormon, witness. The witnesses would be like, I gotta go. I'm out of here. And the Mormons would be like, show us how you're doing this stuff. Like, okay, so you're from the IE, right? And you're Mormon, so and they'd be like, this is very interesting. I'm like, you think that's interesting? Well, let me tell you about the aliens in the Bible. And they would just sit there and listen to me. They loved it.
Let me tell you about this time that I took a whole strip of LSD and I saw God.
Right? I used to make him mad sometimes because I'd tell him, like, I don't talk to him anymore. That motherfucker owes me $20 until he pays up. They were like, there's something wrong with you. Like, my new favorite one always is, and I've stolen off the internet and probably other people, is, yeah, I'm not invited hell no more because last time I partied with the devil, he woke up on the fucking couch, wouldn't look at me in the eyes in the morning and shit, so I ain't allowed down there no more. And people would get mad at that shit. But
dude, I was invited. I got a fucking invitation with a fucking flower basket.
Right?
Told me that was my ride.
But here's the crazy thing is, though, is like when I went through a rehab and stuff, like I would argue with them on all the Christian stuff, like argue all the time and put historical stuff where it was pretty much like, yeah, you don't need this place, but you got to sit here in this class. You need the place, but you need to sit here in the class and just don't like you don't need to take it, but because of your hours you need to. Yeah, no, you gotta take it. But then I would have people tell me like, "Hey, you're the fucking devil quoting the scriptures and shit." And I always took that as a compliment because it meant I was knowledgeable about their stuff to help them out and shit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I took it as a fucking that's a compliment, damn it. So see, we went everywhere, but it's smooth. I like when it goes smooth all over the place. Like it's just good conversation.
It's supposed to.
Right.
This is the kind of interview that it's supposed to be, an interview.
Right. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, I've been I think I've been Facebook friends with you for about a year or so, something like that.
Yeah, I moved out here last August, so it's been almost a year.
Yeah, sure. And gotten to know you a little bit, so now it's smooth conversation. try doing these, like you were talking about podcasts and stuff, when it's something you don't really know, somebody you don't really know and everything, you're just like,
oh, like our last interview?
Yeah, like that one. Like, it's gonna fall flat. Like, what the, because I've made mistakes before. Cause someone seems funny on Facebook, but then when you actually get them on here, and they're just like, and I'm like, yeah, I just asked you, who would you rather give a hand job to on your label? And they're like,
oh, it would have
well,
to
my
be
wife
Sin.
who works for it, right? Meaty hands.
Sorry, bud, but I had to find it first. I tried to put your T-shirt on last night. It's too big. Motherfucker had me order a 5X. I'd be swallowing me whole twice.
I'm happy with the 2X.
Shit, I went from a 2 to a 3. Like wearing it because that's what I preferred. And now I'm just like, fuck that. I'm wearing a large.
Yeah.
If I really want to fit my fat ass in it and show my beer gut, medium.
At the end of my addiction, I was 155 pounds. I am about almost 5'8", right? But I'm one of those stock fuckers that carries a lot of weight, bone density and shit. So I looked really funny when I went out to her in North Carolina. I was like forearms and forehead. That was it. Like I was sucked up. Because usually, like at my best, I was like 225 and not like real thick here. Now I'm like 217. I'm like, fuck, I'm fatter. So I always try to get the extra larges when I was in good shape. The extra large Pro Club long tees.
Yeah,
The
you
white
gotta get
ones,
the
the
tall tees, man, because then you can go a size down and it'd be longer.
Yeah.
I learned that from Magic Deuce.
Yeah.
I did. I learned that from Magic Deuce. He only wears tall tees, and I felt bad because I was gonna order him a T-shirt, and this motherfucker wears a 2X tall, and I didn't order no tall tees.
I heard a lot of people don't want to make them no more, but it's not fair to someone who wears a 2X because it's super wide, but it almost becomes a fucking belly shirt because there's a reason why it's super wide on it. It's like,
look here, you see, us leprechauns don't have to worry about that shit. We don't grow over fucking like 5'4", 5'5". It's y'all Scottish motherfuckers and full blood Irish motherfuckers that ain't leprechauns that have to worry about that shit because y'all just go woo.
My Irish is weird because some of my Irish originates in Ireland, but some of them came with William of Orange when he went to Normandy. That's when I found the very first prior was with him coming to Normandy. And then he, of course, he went on and took, the crown in England and shit. So, like, I feel like I'm bipolar in myself because there's seems like Anglo-Saxon and some Irish in the middle. So, it explains why I'm always at war with myself.
See, I'm Irish as fuck. I get told. Yeah. My mom used to tell me all the time, "You ain't Irish. You need to quit telling everybody you're Irish." Beard started growing in bright fucking red. The only thing that comes in red is my beard. She went. It was funny. It was my brother's 20th birthday. It was last year. We were all at the Chinese buffet with like the whole family eating, and she did one of those ancestry shit. And she looked at me. She was like, "I feel like a bitch." I'm like, "Why, Mom?" Because she told me prior that she was getting one done. She was like, "Baby, I feel like a bitch." I'm like, "Why, Mom?" She's like, 99.999% Irish. I fucking told you. I've been telling you my whole life. Carmack, motherfucker. Just take that with a grain of salt.
Right. Well, actually, I got to throw in. My dad was like an eighth quarter Osage Indian because I got all my family from Missouri and stuff. So he looked with long black hair, 5'5" with long black hair and shit. He looked like
on the bottom.
He looked like a native. Straight up looked like a native. Hung out on the east side, the Hispanic side of town on shit, in the 70s. but yet rode rodeo and shit. Looked like a fucking straight up Indian native. Okay, so me and my other brother, uh, we look like this. But my younger brother and my sisters, they got a lot darker and shit. It looks kind of strange. Like he was only a fucking quarter or an eighth.
It's fucked up. Our oldest son, Braxton, he got Italian in him. His mom's side's all full-blooded Italian, and all of my other kids. I mean, granted, he looks just like me, but all of my other kids, you can tell they're all Irish as fuck. This motherfucker comes out dark as shit, darker than fucking Hades pits, dude. Like, I don't get it. I'm like, Moy, like what the fuck?
It was so bad for my brother that when he was locked up, he had to write Irish on the back of his head. He had to get it tattooed on the back of his head because they're always like, what's up, Holmes and shit? He's like, nah.
Nope. I'm a
wrong
Pike.
car.
Oh
no, puto, you look like
leave me alone.
I always asked him though, but like, why'd you wait until they got behind you though?
Oh, it's funny as hell because I get pissed off when anybody else calls me a pikey. I get
Calls you
furious
what?
when anybody else
you
calls
what?
me a pikey. But
A
I call
pikey?
myself a pikey all the fucking time.
See, I didn't know that as I always knew Mick as a term.
Yeah, I mean that's another one. But pikey's the Irish term for a gypsy.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, Piker. Okay, yeah. Because so, fellow travelers.
Yep.
Fellow travelers.
I mean, call me a Mick all you want. Call me a cracker all you want. Call me a honky all you call me a pikey. I'm punching your fucking mouth.
Just don't call me a punk or a bitch. I don't give a shit. I usually, like, if I want to fight someone, I'll call them every name I think will make them mad. I don't give a shit. Like, and it is bad out, but yeah, dude. Like, I only ever like everyone says California like the TV and movie version, and they don't really know how grimy it is. Not just in the cities, like in the suburbs. It's grimy, and there's so much political stuff that ain't politics. Yep. It's fucking crazy.
100%. That's 100% it. I hated Indiana because of the fact of how conservative Indiana was. And you know, we had no intention of actually just like hiking up and coming out here, so it wasn't like we moved out here to follow a dream or anything. But Indiana is fucking horrible when it comes to. We're gonna be they're gonna be the last state to fucking pass legalization. Period. That. Like
yeah.
Period. That. And everybody around them's legal, at least medical now. They're gonna be the last one to fucking pass it. But at the same time, they're mellow as fuck, dude. Like, I caught a DUI. I did 2 years of probation for a DUI while driving while suspended, and it was my 4th habitual driving while suspended. I should have done 4 years in prison.
Right.
And they just put me on a fucking breathalyzer. It was like, here you go. And then a week later, they're like, yeah, you can go out to California for a week. Gave me a fucking judge signed pass and let me fucking fly off. Like, something like that were to happen out here, I'd be fucked.
Oh, you're totally fucked. Totally fucked. You're only left with some cool, dirty cops out there.
Oh, there's plenty of fucking dirty cops out here.
But it depends if they're the cool ones or not. Because, like, right before I left, I had San Bernardino County sheriffs pretty much tell me, like, they caught me on the street again. They were going to jack me. Kept the light in my face the whole time. I couldn't see what they were. And they left. I looked at my brother. I was like, hey, they just came back on us? He's like, yeah. Hey, bro, you know we're still leaving in 20 minutes, right?
The other thing that I don't like about it out here is the gun fucking laws.
Yeah, bullshit.
Complete fucking bullshit. 10 shots to a pistol? The fuck are you talking about? 10? Dude, my Doc Sport 32 holds more shots than that. And it's only a 6-shooter.
Well, the odds out there are a trick. And if you get caught with an illegal one, Jesus.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, see, there's loopholes, though. There's a lot of loopholes. Like, as long as there is somebody that has mail to this house and the gun is registered to this house, it can stay in this house. And if something were to happen, I can use it.
Oh, nice.
So, but you get a fucking AR, it's got to fucking have a breakaway. You know, you're only allowed to have 22 fucking shots in the magazine. You're like, it's so fucked up, dude. Like me and my wife and her dad have been talking about trying to get my guns from my grandparents registered out here. And he's like, well, if you owe child support, California won't give you a license. I got to prove for a license to carry back home. Like concealed carry back home.
Yeah.
Not out here. Ain't happening.
In Arizona, you don't even really have to get a license for it.
Texas, you ain't got to fucking have a goddamn license, period. You just put the bitch in your glove box. As long as it ain't fucking loaded with one in the chamber, you're good.
Right, before I forget, not that I could forget, since we were talking the Irish and stuff, have you ever read this book, The Story of the Irish Race by Seamus McManus?
I haven't.
Dude, it is a great book wrote in like 1914 that starts from like as close to the beginning as possible as you could through the through them talking and stuff, the oral histories.
Oh, shit. Yeah, you
Kinda
gotta take a picture of that motherfucker and send it to me so I can fucking
I will, bro.
look it up. I know
This motherfucker's a treasure.
I've been looking at, she said something about this one book. It was like fucking $500. I was like, damn.
I saw that.
Bet you it comes with a small child.
I saw that. That shit's crazy, but there's money in books.
We actually did our research on it, and that's really what it's going for.
Yeah.
So I was like, what the fuck?
Dude,
now we gotta buy it.
You're in California. Go to estate sales, bro. Go to estate sales. Estate sales. Where they're selling the estate. You got to get there like closer to the beach earlier. You got to get there like 2:00 in the morning. Get your little bullshit little lineup, you know, your spot, so that when they do the 5:00, you're in your spot for your numbers. Be like first 5 or 10. There's so much things to make money on: books, Bibles, certain CD shit. Like my buddy put his full time at Amazon just to do that shit. Like,
live out here.
That's why I miss about out there though. It's just the estate sales were fucking dope, dude. We came away with a bunch of stuff.
Hell yeah, yeah. I'm trying to get my way and maneuver my way into figuring out where everything's out at, like what's what. Still,
yeah.
I've only been out here for a fucking year. That ain't long enough.
No, it's not long enough. Not long enough. I was trying to explain to my girl, the living dead girl here. I was trying to explain to her because like she was from Arizona, but she was so she knows Detroit big and stuff, and the suburbs for Detroit, which is huge. Like it's massive. But I had to kind of explain to her, California, there's like no spacing. It's city to city to city to city to city. There's there's
you have a fucking brick goddamn fence and a neighbor a fucking 18 feet away from you.
Small towns got 100,000 people in it and shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Mojave only has fucking 3,000.
Yeah.
That's Mojave, and that's also like 30 minutes away from me. Lancaster's like damn near a quarter of fucking LA, half of LA.
Lancaster's gotten huge, just like Central Valley, like Arizona shit's gotten huge out there.
It's like the easiest way to describe it to like anybody that sees this is from Indianapolis. Like being in Lancaster, California is like living in fucking Fountain Square on the south side of Indianapolis. Like literally, that's what it is. It's just not cold ever until Thanksgiving when it snows.
Yeah.
Dries up the next fucking day, like 2 hours later. And nobody know how to drive in that motherfucking shit.
Reading Arizona, they hate California so much here. Like everything is a Californian's fault, no matter what the fuck it is. And I'd be sitting in the back seat. Her dad would be in the car like, fucking Californians, fuck piece of shit. And I'm like, hey, I'm sitting back here, motherfucker.
I don't know, man. Utah's worse. Utah drivers and people are a lot worse than California drivers and people. I've noticed that driving to Salt Lake City to go pick my dog up. Nevada people suck, driving wise.
Yeah. I'll tell you who sucks.
The mediation of like the speed limit only being 70 miles an hour in the Midwest, and then you hit the West Coast, it's like 85, 90, 120.
I'll tell you who the worst drivers are in Southern California. They have these stickers on the back of their car. One will be turtles. If there's a bunch of turtles in the corner of their car, they suck at driving. Or if they have a Big Bear sticker on the back of their car, they suck at driving. But will run you off the road going down the 18 or 330. Like, they fucking suck.
Everybody asks me, they'll be like, "What's it like living in California?" I'm like, "Well, I've been out here for a year. 8 months of the year I've been in COVID, and I'm in the skate capital of the fucking world, and I can't even fucking skate."
Right. And that actually really fucking sucks, bro, that you haven't got to go out and experience a bunch of shit. Get in the Sierra Nevadas, you'll love those.
Yeah.
When you get off shit, like there's a lot of cool places. I mean, because you can go to the beach and then go to the mountains, from snow to fucking ocean in the same day.
Like instantly.
It was amazing.
That's what Max was saying. Like, Max came out he stayed with us for like 2 weeks, and it was like a week, and he went and traveled, and it was before they shut us back down and shit, and went to he went to Venice Beach, and he went and did a whole bunch of other shit, and he was like, "It's beautiful." I was like, "Dude, I fucking love Lancaster unless I'm going to Apple Valley."
Right. And there ain't no apples in the Apple Valley.
Nope. Apple Valley is just like Lancaster.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah. So we're about at we're after the hour now. Any shout out, anything we missed musically? Because we've had a lot of good intellectual talk today.
I know the Batosa just dropped, but we're working on a Halloween project with Bad Mind right now, titled Broken Mirrors. It's gonna be releasing on 10/31, exclusively produced by Bad Mind. Shout out to Big Sin, Big Hoss. Shout out to Decal. Shout out to my We Are family back home. Shout out to my brother Pope Adrian Bless. Shout out to you, motherfucker.
Much love. Much love.
Yeah.
I appreciate
if you ever want me back on, fucking holler at me.
Oh, anytime, bro. Anytime. It's all love and family. You know what I mean? There are people you fuck with out there. I love the fuck out of those guys. So that was instant. Like, who's this guy? Yeah, bring him on, Sinister. Bring him on.
Just wait till you see what the Hostile Crew's cooking up.
Okay, yeah.
Not allowed to talk about it. Not allowed to talk about it.
Nope. I think I heard something. No, it's not, because if it involves Haas, sometimes shit gets out, and I don't want it to backfire on him because has it?
It's been out, but
it's not.
We haven't technically started working on the album yet, so
yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, he did. Hey, no lie. I was telling my brother or you this earlier today. So that's what's up, bro. That's exciting. It deserves.
It's gonna be a fucking journey. That's one project that I'm like super fucking stoked for.
Right.
So we just did a photo shoot like back in fucking February, like early February. So we're like piecing everything together, and it's a matter of getting Haas in the studio. You know, he's Haas.
I ain't saying nothing.
But he's on Broken Mirrors.
Oh, nice. Yeah, bro, we'll definitely have you back on for that, or anytime you want to pop on or whatever, or any show we got, you're always more than welcome.
Yeah, anytime. Anytime you guys want me on, just holler at me.
All right, brother. It sounds good. Maybe we'll start a history podcast.
Let's do it.
We'll just we'll bore the fuck out of everybody.
It'll just be Deadpool bobbing like this.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
All right.
Be safe, man. You guys need to holler.
NastieShop.com.
Do what?
NastieShop.com.
NastieShop.com for merch and HellfireReigns.com for everything else.
Nice. My boss almost didn't look up your website because it's a nasty shop. He thought I was going to go order double-sided dildos and stuff.
Okay, so before we get off, funny story about that. I own a domain called letsgetnasty.com. And I keep getting phone calls because I haven't set the site up yet. I keep getting phone calls from Google. What kind of fucking website is this?
Yeah. That's great. All right, brother. I'm DJ Gonzo. This is a couch. Live Dead Girl popped on. Thank you for tuning in. I heard audio wasn't so great. We'll fix that next time for you on Facebook. Don't worry, we're gonna upload this to Gonzo Sal's radio YouTube channel. I'm tired as fuck. That was Nasty Inc.
Urban Myth, motherfucker.
Hope you enjoyed your history lesson, and we're out of here.
Pieces.
All right, brother.
Later, brother.
We're out here. Stop.